Hello everyone and welcome back to Let's Replay Megaman 04. In the last part we beat the first two boss fights, or first two major boss fights, and now we're gonna go after our third one, this man here. And I'm gonna get the weather right too. A large particle beam has been placed at point Ep.4 by Vile's army. It fires intermittent lasers beams, destroying everything in the area. It appears to be solar powered. Soon it'll be within firing range of Area 0. Cut the power supply to the particle beam before Area 0 comes into its range. This mission, yup. This is actually one of my favorite stages, purely for its theme song, honestly. I think it's the song that was even in the trailer. 0. We can't stop that particle beam from the outside. Infiltrate it and stop it from the inside. I'm scanning for a way inside. That's okay. Well, I'll just go in through the barrel. That's way too dangerous. It looks like it's charging up. There's no time. Commencing mission. Yeah, the theme for this stage is known as Max Heat, or Maximum Heat, depending on where you look it up. It's a great kick-ass song. It's the intro theme for a reason, if I recall. I think it was even the trailer song, too, which is pretty cool. Anyway, there's actually 3 enemy parts I want to get in this stage. One is from that drill thing I just killed. That's a Ganga gun. And the next 2 are from enemies in the second half of the stage after the mini-boss. In fact, that's one thing I have to say about the stage. The enemies. A lot of them surprisingly hurt a lot. In fact, 04 has pretty high damage output on enemies. So what I recommend doing is, if you don't like the first levels for any of the Sabrelf abilities, the level 2 nurse ability is the fact that it increases your max HP by 4. So, take advantage of that. I think I burped a few seconds ago. I entirely forget at this point. Either way, mini-boss. I hate this dragon. The dragon has a few attacks, but the reason I hate it for the most part is it has a lot of health. What it likes to do attack-wise is this little lunge thing, which for some reason I entirely forget you can slow down by attacking during it. It has a little fireball attack where it fires a fireball, right, this one actually, and it creates a fire tornado. And you have to dash in the opposite direction that it is from you, so I have to dash to the right since it's from on my left, due to the fact that it's actually dragging me towards it. Aside from that, it has a laser attack where it can fire laser at 3 altitudes, low, which is the floor which you need to jump over, high, which you can just stand under, and an intermediate altitude level where you have to dash underneath it or jump over it, depending on how you feel. Not a very hard mini-boss, it's just the fact that it takes far too long. Note to game designers, don't give your mini-bosses obnoxious amounts of health. And if you do, at least show us our health bar, so we can see how much we've done to it. Actually, I was about to say, what games do I know that's actually done that? Because most mini-bosses, now that I think about it, have either invisible health bars where you don't see them at all, or they just have slight sprite changes the farther into its health bar you get, like Megaman 7. Either way, welcome to the laser. The thing that changes in this stage, when you have the weather in the boss's favor, is that the laser fires a lot more often. And I should warn you, don't touch it. The laser is, if I recall, instant kill, and I think it was when I was grinding for enemy parts. Speaking of enemy parts, the first one is from that enemy right there, which was the Lamp Lord enemy from the first stage. The little magic lamp-shaped fire-shooting one. And the second one is this thing that I'm standing on right now. That is a Phytol. I need 3 of its parts. So, yeah, off-screen, in between this stage and the next, I do grind for those. Sadly, I can't... Well, actually, I'm almost to the point where most of my crafting is done. I just need, let me look at my notes. 2 of those parts. And those 2 parts. Yeah. No, wait. Yeah, wow, I'm stupid. Yeah, I'm only missing 1 part, and I'm gonna get that likely, I think, next part. It's not a very hard stage, just keep that laser in mind, because it will kill you. I think right there is the Fatal I actually used to farm, too. Now right here, you got these mini lasers, which I think aren't instant kills, but they do hurt a decent amount, so don't get hit by them. Either way, time for the boss of the stage, Genblem, who I swear is also a reference to Rady Turtleoid from X6. Ragnarok will wake the humans from their stupidity. It's the grand plan of our planet group on a commander craft. I am one of the Inhajar warriors, Genblem. I'll defeat all who stand in our way. For some reason, I turned him into a cowboy. I don't know why. Either way, Genblem is deceptively damaging because his attacks are very hard to telegraph. He has a little attack where he puts his head in his shell and shoots fire out of it. He does a little attack where he turns around. What he does during that is you have to look for a tell. If he starts to shake when he's using it, get out of the way because he's gonna do pretty much the equivalent of a Shoryuken. If he doesn't, oh well, just stay there. He has that little attack where he goes up to the ceiling, obviously. Then he does this laser attack, which I think goes on for a bit longer in when the weather's in his favor. Obviously, dodge the laser. It hurts a lot. Gah! I failed to destroy my target. I'm sorry I failed you, Commander Craft. Gah! I think that so far, this is actually the game where I've sliced the most bosses into the pieces with the Z-Saber. Because I think I usually finish off the bosses so far with charge attacks. Huh. Either way, we got Flame Fang, which is the Shoryuken type attack for us. It looks like the boss of the area was the power reactor for the particle beam. Without that around, the beam's power is slowly fading away, and no longer poses a threat to Area Zero. Good work, Zero. Sweet. Now, before we head to the next stage, I want to head to the lab to finally craft a recipe piece, because I have the parts necessary for it. Let's see, Fatal, Gonga Gun, Gyro Cannon, H, and C Hopper, when you use them together, gives you the Double Jump Foot Chip, which does, as you might think it does, it gives you a double jump. This is my personal favorite foot piece in the game. Hence why I'm sticking with it. And now let's head after our next stage. I've discovered the ruins of what used to be a great city a century ago. It looks to be a fully functional city, but I detect no signs of life. The security system's been hijacked by a virus. It would appear the security system is growing and it's attacking everything in sight. Put a stop to the city's ambitious expansion plans. This mission? Yep. Time for my least favorite out of the 8 main stages. Zero. This area is being operated from 2 locations. One is the control tower and the other is the computer room that lies beyond it. Keep going and put a stop to that control tower. I hate this stage, I really do. First off, we get these weird wheel enemies back from 0-1, and for some reason they're really hard to kill before they can touch you, unless you know where they are by heart. Kind of a random time to bring that enemy back, though. Also, this stage reminds me a lot of Frostman stage from Megaman 8. It's kind of weird, honestly. Holy Medu Hopper parts. Anyway, it's in here that... Well, first off, one of the 2 gimmicks of the stage is that there's these little spike-filled rooms that you have to grab these little platforms and platform along on them, but since I have double jump, I can skip a majority of that. On the second room of like this, later on in the stage, there's a piece of Ceratanium. Here's where the gimmick becomes clear. The blocks that are moving, there are a lot of them throughout the stage, but they're only moving if the weather's in the boss's favor. If it's not, they're completely motionless, and you can just completely move through these hallways with no threat whatsoever, really, aside from the enemies. And this is actually the reason I hate the stage, for the most part. There's instant death everywhere, because The thing is, gamers often develop a fear, to some extent, of the things that can instant kill them in games. Since I play so much Mega Man, I developed a fear of crushing and spikes. And there's a lot of crushing in this stage. Because of the gimmick. Zero, there's the control tower. You can't outright destroy it, but you can pull the key disc out and disable the tower. So we have to pull these little things out using our Zero Knuckle. However, like Fenry Luna Edge's stage, depending on where you are when you pull out the final one, you can actually get wrapped into one of two paths. The top one and the bottom one. I will not be showing the bottom one off because there's nothing necessary to it whatsoever. The only reason I showed the bottom path in Fenry Luna Edge's stage is because of the key card that I needed to get the sub-tank. Though I'm still going to need to replay this off-screen so I can get two parts from a Megaman enemy that we're going to be encountering really soon. Since I was on the top floors when I beat it, cleared the tower rather, I got locked into the top path. Here's the Megaman enemy. I need 2 of its parts for things, but sadly I will not be able to grind for it immediately after the stage. The Megaman is actually a really interesting enemy, though, because it actually summons enemies out of itself. 3 types of enemies. One that's fire elemental, one that's electric elemental, one that's ice elemental. And each of those has its own part, so if you're going for all parts guide or playthrough and such, you're going to need to remember that. Oh, joy, I love this next room. This is my least favorite room in the stage because there's instant death everywhere. Spikes and crushing. Great. Thankfully, though, since I know where all the blocks are, I can get through it fairly harmlessly, but not gonna lie, I was clenching my controller pretty hard right there. And this is the room where the Ceratanium is, actually. It's at the very bottom right corner of the room. And this is actually a stage where I was also very nervous, because most of the bottom of this room is spikes. So I had to carefully platform with a double jump along those little platforms. Either way, we're at the boss, Popla Cocapetri, who is actually based off of cockatrice.
Kya! I've been expecting you, Zero. You made a fool of me the last time we met. But I assure you it won't happen again. I am Cocapetri of the Einharsher 8 Warriors. We will see Ragnarok through. Kya!
So you're the one who's in control security here.
Kya! Surprised? It's all thanks to Lord Vile's virus program. It takes care of intruders without me even lifting a finger, wing. Huh.
So you're the type that can't do anything yourself.
Kya! First grunt, now this insult. Unforgivable. I'll turn you into a lawn ornament.
And he means that. Since I just said Cocapetri's based off of cockatrice, any Final Fantasy player knows that he can stone you. Once an attack in particular can turn you to stone, and you just have to mash the D-pad to get out of it. It's actually his next attack. There you go. Honestly, though, he's not that hard of a boss. The stage moves up and down when the weather's in the boss's favor, and he has this attack where he freezes you, but it doesn't really do much. Cocapetri's a really easy boss. He deserves the insults that Zero throws at him, which I absolutely love, by the way, that he actually throws insults like that. It's hilarious.
Kya! Why can't I move? I haven't been turned to stone, have I? No, it's fear keeping me frozen. Kya!
I'd say I feel bad, but this guy's a jerk. So he deserves it. And for that, we got his EX skill, Time Stopper, which is the Buster type skill.
There's something lonely about a ghost town. Even if we win this battle, so long as a gulf exists between humans and Reploids, things like that are bound to exist. We must do what we can for everyone's future.
What the?
There are Reploids converging on Area 0. Vile's Reploids are heading for the settlement. What? They found it! Fighting's breaking out across the settlement. The Reploids are advancing.
Operator, transfer me to the settlement.
Inputting coordinates. 0, protect the settlement, please. Oh, before that, I'll save your data.
You are oddly happy all of a sudden. Let's see how far we are in, thanks to me grinding this time around. Oh god, almost twice the length of my original LP.
Data saved. 0, be careful. 0, ready for transfer.
Transfer me.
Alright, ready for transfer. But with that,
Zero, I'm gonna need to end this off here. Thank you guys for watching, and in part 5, we'll be heading towards the mid stages. See you guys then.